business manager for work.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do 2-factor authentication, so they have to text me a code every time I log into Facebook.
We're live.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, wow. I hate that.
Going over your business.
Just going over business ID on Facebook. It's terrible.
All right. Well, we're live. We're live via stream.
Oh, we got the stream going?
Sweet. Yeah. Yep.
Tom, you look amazing, by the way.
Thank you. I really forced this thing out over the last couple days.
You really stepped it up.
Yeah, right? I mean, I feel like it all flows together. It all flobies together.
You just look mad at everything.
Yeah, so
this entire podcast, you're just going to be...
It's very fitting.
Yeah. This fits your whole image of the craft beer curmudgeon. See, you just smiled right now, and it looked like you were getting more angry.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I'm not. I don't. Fits my demeanor, I suppose.
It does. I mean, if it's going to fit anyone in this podcast, a mustache is definitely going to fit you. I can't even pull off a mustache. I can't believe you grew that in the week that it's been since we've last been on this podcast.
Grown and groomed.
And groomed, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Freshly trimmed, too.
Mm-hmm. Just it's nice and well manicured, straight across. All right, you want to get the intro video going?
We'll get the intro video going. I'm saving all of my jokes for the audio.
Oh, as you should. All right.
I'm just like sweating over here, holding them back.
All right, let's hit that.
Do you see how bad it looks when you laugh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta laugh like a stroke victim.
Ooh, you gotta laugh out the side of your mouth.
Yeah. All right. Intro. I feel like I should have a sax.
I'm not gonna lie, the pre the dance you do during the intro is just amazing.
And nobody can see it except for you.
Nobody can.
You're the only one privy to my dance moves, Dan. I only dance for you. All right, let's get started here with audio.
Let's get the audio going for the podcast.
All right. Yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to a very mustachioed edition of the Best Friends podcast in the world. I am your host, I don't even know. I don't know anymore, Dan. I don't know my identity anymore.
I was going to say, you usually intro yourself as the king of butt rock, and this whole thing you have going on right now has solidified
my place.
Yeah.
My place in the annals of butt rock.
The what?
The annals.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Ow. Ow.
Did you rip your real mustache off under it?
I might have.
Oh man.
Just a little bit. All right.
all of the audio people are not getting this full image that you have.
I think it's coming off.
This beautiful mustache, the Pit Vipers.
This is why you gotta get on stream with us. I mean, you're missing a whole portion of this amazing podcast.
This is peak Tom right now.
All right. King of the Butt Rock, Crispies the Boys, Tom.
And I'm your other host, the Hop Master General, the Royersford Rattlesnake.
You know, if ever I was going to have a bush light to throw you.
I know, we should get a couple of 12-ounce light boys in the fridge here to throw to me.
I feel incomplete without like a back pocket beer. You know what I mean?
You have the face you have right now is somebody who like walks up to like a NASCAR race with a beer in the back pocket, like pulls it out before he sits in the stands.
No, that's all right. Got my own. One of those. Give it one of those moves.
Oh yeah, it's Dan, by the way.
Yeah. All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to what we do every week. I mean, you've been with us every week, I guess, for 104
episodes.
104 episodes. Yeah, we're back. Continuing our Pittsburgh month. Yeah.
Yep. We are continuing our month on the other side of the state here.
But before we get into that, let's
do a little housekeeping.
Yeah.
Guys, so we do it every episode here, and we will continue to do it for every episode, especially for the audio guys. Follow, rate, and review. Follow the podcast on all major podcast platforms. That's how you know when the new episodes drop. Spoiler alert, it's going to be Wednesday.
Spoiler. Yeah, and if you like the podcast, tell your friends about the podcast. If you like the beer, if you like the podcast,
if you like the beer,
you probably like the beer. Your friends might like it too.
Is the mustache affecting your speech right now?
Yeah, this glue is seeping into my brain. all I'm doing is.
Wait,
that.
Can you move it?
I like that move, yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Wait, what? What's going to on what?
I don't know, Dylan. I don't know what you're saying.
I don't even know if that's English. I think Dylan's huffing glue like me.
He's huffing mustache glue too?
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, guys, follow, rate, 5-star party.
5-star party.
5-star party. Like that mustache, it's a 5-star party.
Who knows? You give us a good review, someone might get a mustache ride.
Oh man. Oh, audio people, you are missing some serious mustache work right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But,
it's mustache magic, as they like to say in the old mustache world. And then guys, if you want to support the podcast, we would greatly appreciate that. You can help support us make the podcast even better by donating to the podcast. You are helping us to get better equipment, make things such as merch possible. You can do that through our great streaming platform or great podcast platform. I don't even know how to call it.
Platform? It's podcast platform. This is the platform that gets the podcast out to all of the different podcast like mediums. Apple. We've got Spotify, Amazon Alexa. Gets our podcast out there, and you can donate, help the cause. Every donation helps Tom get another fake mustache for the podcast. So,
fake?
I mean, helps him grow another mustache. Exactly.
Yeah, helps me.
Totally took a week for him to grow this.
All my
tuned in last week.
My earls, my my waxes, my little miniature tiny mustache brushes that you get from Chuck E. Cheese.
Pays for the frame picture of Sam Elliott he puts next to his bathroom mirror.
Yep. So you can do that. You can do that today. You can go on anchor.fm/bestbestfriendspod to support the podcast. If you want to donate, greatly appreciated. We'll figure out something to do to give back to the donors. So,
oh yes,
yeah. I think we.
we did it at the same time.
Oh, we did it again.
All right, you go.
All right, there we go.
There it is. This is why you have two people at controls, man.
We're doing the unlock, open the door.
No, you unlock.
Nope.
Don't hit the handle yet.
And as always, we are a part of the Hopped Up Network. Hopped Up Network is a group of independent craft beer podcasts, much like ours. If you like our podcast, you might like some of the other podcasts on the network. You can follow them on Instagram at Hopped Up Network, or check out their website, www.hoppedupnetwork.com.
Tom.
Yeah.
You look like you were pissed off at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh, man, you're right. It does look like, oh no, what happened to my camera? What?
Oh,
no.
You stopped the camera.
Oh, no.
Tom, I don't think you can see I don't think you can see anything with the pit vipers on.
I can see everything. I can see into the future, Dan. All right, let's get our guest on. Let's start drinking some left side beer.
Some left side beer.
Yeah. All right. So we are joined today. Like we said, we're continuing our month into the side of the state that eats their sandwiches with coleslaw and French fries. I just like to do it with
disgusting,
just to make Dan mad. So we are joined today by Aadam, Zach, and Dave from Trace Brewing out in Bloomfield.
Oh, look at all the clicks you got to do to get this
know.
whole crowd on here.
So many clicks.
First Pittsburgh Brewery.
There we
We've
go.
got a full house.
We do.
How's it going,
What's up,
everyone?
guys?
Thanks for having us.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
All right. So we're going to be talking about some Trace beer. We're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh brewing scene.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Pittsburgh. I mean, we have to with Aadam wearing that scarf. So, I mean, for all the people on the audio,
It's not going to stop Aadam.
He came dressed as Wiz Khalifa for this, and got his black and yellow on. He's ready.
All right.
He's gonna sing a Mac Miller song. It's gonna be great.
So we are.
That's all I know about Pittsburgh music.
We missed a lot this week, Dan. We did forget.
I know.
We got to do it, right?
I don't know if we have to do it now. We've already introed the podcast.
Yeah, we've already introed the podcast. All right.
We missed the late '90s, early 2000s hip hop intro.
Yeah,
it was gonna go perfect with your glasses.
It was very appropriate.
I know.
All right. So let's get into some beers.
Let's get into some Trace.
Yeah, we're gonna start.
I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with which one? We're gonna start off with "Love Is the Way."
"Love Is the Way" is the first one we're gonna be starting off with. And guys, while I get that beer, Tom, you want to talk to us about Untapped?
Yeah, the lovely Untapped, the cesspool of the craft beer industry. Yeah. So we're you can follow us and all of the beers that we are drinking on Untapped at Best Restaurants Pod. We're going to be drinking Love Is the Way. It's a hazy IPA, 7% alcohol by volume. IPA with Citra and Galaxy hops. Notes of, I never know how to say this word, lychee, passion fruit, and gooseberry.
That's exactly how they pronounce it on the kids show to watch. So, like,
okay. If you were searching for a path, love is the way. Ooh.
Aww.
Put a little tingle in my dingle there.
Whoa.
All right. So, yeah, let's get started with this.
Oh man, we lost.
Do we lose somebody? No, we didn't lose anybody.
I think we're all here.
Yeah, Zach's just behind our logo.
There he is.
There we go. Much better. Much more appropriate.
Yeah. I'm so comfortable hiding back there, though.
Oh no!
Oh,
I gotta stop laughing. I gotta stop smiling.
I know you can't do it anymore.
No. No, I'm all crooked. I'm all cockeyed.
All right, Tom.
All right.
I feel like your costume it's got you frantic.
All right.
Are you ready? We're gonna slow this down here. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Breathe, Tom.
That was a good one. Which one are we pouring in, Dan?
Just pouring those two. You got them right there. All right. So while he's pouring out the beer, I guess I'll defer this question to head brewer Zach. So tell us a little bit about this beer and the brewing process with this one. It's Zach, right? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Sorry,
you.
I froze up there for a little bit. I'm back.
He was like staring at me. I'm like,
It wasn't me. It was the computer. I'm sorry if you asked the question. I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's all good.
He asked, what's the meaning of life?
Well, yeah. Yeah, it was a real heavy
42.
loaded question right there. Yeah, 42. Don't forget your towel, guy. So, yeah, go. I guess tell us a little bit about the brewing process, thought behind this beer. Is this one of your beers that you guys do? Like, is this like a flagship or a normal beer, or is this kind of in the rotation?
Sure, yeah. We don't really have what you might call like a flagship beer. I think we've made this beer more often than maybe any others. We kind of started out with the idea of making a lot of different stuff to see what fit the people that were coming to the brewery. But then, you make a hazy Citra Galaxy beer that's going to be pretty popular. I mean,
Be a hot seller.
Keeps the lights
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I try to go for a lower, like a little bit more approachable IPA designs that are not as bitter. So I kind of ascribe to the philosophy that there's a lot of different versions of hazy IPA. They kind of all get lumped together, but I try to go for the softer side of things. There's been a lot of variety in Galaxy hops the last year, so this is kind of one of the better lots of Galaxy that we've gotten. So this one's a little bit more tropical.
Definitely on the nose.
Everybody knows Galaxy for sure, and Citra. But yeah, I try to give it just a little touch of malt. It's not there's some stuff in there that's not just base malt, and I try to make it so that people that don't think they like IPA could hopefully enjoy it. That's kind of the goal.
Awesome. Oh, cheers, guys.
Cilantro boys.
Cheers.
That's funny what you said about, I guess, this latest crop of Galaxy that you guys had in. We've heard from other like breweries we've had on the podcast that have had a love-hate relationship with Galaxy.
Sure.
Over the last 3 years, it first kind of hit the scene. It was everybody wanted to put it in their IPAs, and then some, I guess, yields were kind of bringing something almost like a peanut buttery kind of taste to it, and people.
Yeah, we got that.
People
not
were
so much in this one, but we did get it. Yeah.
And then people were saying, it was making a comeback. Recently, Galaxy has been kind of making a comeback with the latest kind of crop that's been coming around. So it's nice, and you definitely hit the nail on the head with this. You get a lot more tropical notes than I do search out hazies with Galaxy, and when I got those peanut butter ones, I was like, "What happened to Galaxy? I don't like it anymore."
Yeah, we had a couple that were brewed over. I guess it was late 2020, early 2021.
Yeah, it was around that time.
It was like you could tell something was a lot different.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like PTSD for Zach over there. He was just like,
man, we made one that I'm just waiting until I have full confidence in that hop again, because we made a beer that was just Galaxy and Columbus, and it's just straight up peanut butter and grass and just the faintest little bit of that Galaxy tropical fruit in the background.
And it was still funny, expensive AF.
Yeah, the price came down. It's not what it used to be. Now it's Rawaka. I saw Rawaka hops online and the price. I was like, wow, this is the new one. But I certainly remember when Galaxy was going for absolutely insane prices. I mean, it's not cheap by any means, but
trust me, Dave,
I definitely lived that out with the peanut buttery.
Galaxy had to win its customers back. They're like, listen, guys, we know.
Yeah, it got that like you were saying, it kind of got a little bit of that grass hay.
Yeah.
And it was like that the yield that really made it pop off had that big bright citrus flavor and super tropical and then it just
it had a really good and it aged well too. Gave it almost like a sweet resinous kind of flavor. So as the IPA kind of aged a little bit, it got less green and almost got almost like a dankness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, circling back to this one here, tropical notes on the nose. You definitely get it throughout the entire sip too. And with the grain bill, you said something about you said the softer side, and I started thinking the softer side of Sears, and I think of those old commercials.
Wrench.
And so with that, I guess using a lot of oats and just to kind of soften it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much put oats and wheat in all of our hazy IPAs. I've stayed away from doing any
toasting it up,
lactose stuff or anything like that. I find that
good on you.
You can achieve plenty of body. I don't want that. Not that there's anything it has its place. I just I'm that's not what I'm trying to do. I find that I can get as much body as I want with oats and wheat in the right proportion, and then we use a couple other base malts here and there that have a little bit more, I guess for lack of a better word, maltiness to them than just straight two-row to try to kind of blend it in there and try to find like the hazy IPA version of balance. I mean, back in the day, it was, you need a little C60 in all your IPA, and now it's a little different, but I still try to give it something to kind of fill it out a little bit, give it a little color with the malt. But yeah,
this color is definitely Instagram worthy. Like this is where you put that you get that enhanced filter, and it just like brightens it up. Post it online, get a couple hashtags.
Yeah, you got to get for the gram.
Got to do it for the gram. ISO.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this. I was expecting like like a citrus punch in the face, but it definitely has that resiny kind of taste to it. A little bit of pepper to it. I like the balance on it. It's not like I said, not super tropical, not super juicy. It's just like a nice hazy IPA.
Yeah, still kind of gives you IPA vibes. Some of these, they try and go for the juice factor, and you kind of lose sight of what like the basic IPA, like BJCP American IPA was. You start losing all those tasting notes, and I love getting a hazy IPA that still reminds you of like the old, like IBU wars, and you get a little bit of bitterness, you get a little hoppiness in there.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if I can do this seriously with this get up, Dan.
I know you keep looking at the beer, and I feel like you're just angry at it with that mustache on.
It's got good body. It is nice and soft on the palate. Got good head retention. I've got good lacing on my glass.
You look like you're doing a Facebook Live video from like the front seat of your pickup truck, and you're about to tell us that you graduated from the School of Hard Knocks.
I can do that. I think I can manage that. So, Zach, how did you get started with brewing?
Oh man, I kind of stumbled into the beer world, and then really fell in love with it on the way. But originally the first job I had that had anything to do with beer was actually selling beer, hawking beer in the stands at Patriots games. I was out there walking up and down the aisles, selling, macro lager, and that led me to a job at Whole Foods in the beer and wine department, and that's where I really started to start home brewing, and I was hand selling a lot of craft beer. This was, at the time, I think our hottest seller was grapefruit sculpin in a 6-pack. So if you remember those days.
Oh, yeah.
We remember those fondly.
Yeah. We were in, outside of Boston, and occasionally we'd get like one case of Maine Beer Company lunch, and we'd have to like hide it behind the counter. People were freaking out. It was those days of people driving up to the Alchemist to buy cases of Heady Topper, and
those days.
When beer muling was
the original version of those days.
When they were driving up to the Alchemist for Heady Topper, not up to Treehouse for Julius and King Julius is Julius and Green Julius.
Yeah. The more things change, the more they stay the same. But yeah, then, long story short, I got a job bartending at Harpoon. They opened a beer hall there. And then after that, I got a part-time job basically cleaning kegs for Trillium Brewing. And that was kind of my foot in the door to production. Ended up there for a couple years. I came to Pittsburgh, worked for Dancing Gnome, and then a handful of other places, and then wound up involved in opening Trace. So it's been an interesting ride, and I've learned from a lot of great people. And
I was going to say you've worked with a lot of heavy hitters there.
Yeah, I mean, I have very much been. People say that half of luck is preparation. I tried to be ready, and then very much was in the right place at the right time a couple of times, and I've been very fortunate, and it's been nice to pay that forward. Now we have the vocational program at the brewery, and I get to teach people the stuff that other people taught me, which has been pretty rewarding.
That's very cool. Could you can you go in more in depth about the vocational program?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so part of like the vision and the DNA of Trace Brewing from the beginning was that we were going to have a vocational program. It's a 6-month program. People don't have to have any experience, and we actively encourage people of all races and genders and backgrounds to apply. And the point of it essentially is to try to encourage people that never saw themselves having the chance to work for a brewery to put themselves in a position to do something that they really care about. And I basically, but my role in it is to take the experience that I've had and train people to be able to go out and get a job when they're done working with us, which so far has been pretty successful. And it's a little different. I mean, I've trained some other people in my career. Usually, you're not training someone to go work for somebody else. So, but with that in mind, it's like, and it affects the way that I do it. But, we've had very, very rewarding experiences with it, and met some wonderful people, trained some wonderful people who have now gone on to find work in Pittsburgh breweries. And I mean, I'm sure that we'll get into that a little bit more later, but
that's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not something that you hear about very often.
No, yeah, this is the first time we've heard about it. Do you approach the class like Denzel from Training Day? Like, do you make them like first they have to like sling macro lagers, at like a football game first in the stands? They're like, you have to come from where I started.
Or is it like
make them stack beer at a Whole Foods?
What's the how do I reach these kids?
Oh, stand and deliver.
Stand and deliver. That's what it was. How do I reach?
Exactly what it is. Take 4 cases of cans and run up and down a flight of stairs. No, I mean we
mentorship program / CrossFit.
Yeah, yeah. It's my angle in it is it's functional on the job training in a small brewery, where anyone that's worked in production in a small brewery could tell you that you do a little bit of everything all the time. And so I do a lot of kind of just thinking out loud and explaining what I'm doing. And then there's, the nuts and bolts training of the things that you need to know how to do to get, your average packaging or cellar position. And, I just try to be an open book and encourage them to ask questions and read and seek out any kind of sources of information and talk about it. And I mean, it evolves as we go. I mean, I'll say that. I mean, it's like every month I get better at it in some way, because it's, being a teacher is different, when the expectation is to try to, kind of set them free at the end.
Yeah, I can imagine that, especially in brewing. It does. You talk to a lot. I guess we talk to a lot of brewers, and a lot of brewers are pretty they're pretty soft spoken, they're to themselves, especially at a small brewery level. Like sometimes you're back there brewing by yourself for like 8 hours a day. Like maybe you get the occasional person walking by, so now you have to be social, you have to have these these classes, and now you're taking a crash course in public speaking.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, luckily for me, and it's kind of funny because it's been so long, but I used to have to give tours at Harpoon, and it was literally public speaking.
Zach, I'm gonna have to stop you there. We used to.
That's true. Well, I figured we would get. Dave was also there.
We gave the best tours.
Dan, do you want to do final thoughts on the hazy?
Yeah, we'll do final thoughts and move on. Final thoughts on Love Is the Way. It was great beer. I enjoyed it. This was my first Trace offering, and I'm excited to get into some more here. So
yeah, super slammable.
I mean, talking about Galaxy was fun. I mean, Galaxy is that roller coaster ride of a hop where it's had its highs and lows. I feel like you definitely hit the nail on the head by saying like this crop of Galaxy is awesome. So I definitely enjoyed this beer a lot.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, very, very enjoyable. So the next beer that we're going to get into is, I believe, the Foeder Kellerbier.
I believe it is the Foeder Kellerbier, which I'll put it up right here in a second here. So yeah, we got the Tom is slowly turning into Ryan from Warwick Farm Brewing. It's just happening.
I'm the Wish version that can't brew.
I was gonna say, Zach was talking about his mentorship program. It's like, it's kind of like how we beg breweries to brew with us, so we could just be there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let me pull up I got the Kellerbier right here, and while we're pulling that up, Tom, you tell us about Untapped there and get into the beer.
All right, so we're gonna be doing the Foeder Kellerbier. Hold on, let me switch. Get Zach down there. It's a 5.2% alcohol by volume Kellerbier. It's our house Kellerbier aged for 2 months in an American oak Foeder. Floral and lemon hop character with caramel and vanilla notes from the oak. All right.
I'm a sucker for the Foeder.
Yeah, this is our wait. So Chris is joining late.
Oh.
Zach is the head brewer.
Zach is the brewer from Trace.
So we have another brewer named Charlie. He's not here, but
I was going to jump in and say it was me because we've had guests ask about the brewery. It's me, your bartender. I'm the head brewer.
All right, I'm going to get a crack here. 3, 2, 1.
Did you get a little splash on the
splashback
on the stash there?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm surprised. For all the people who are listening, though, Tom's rocking the stash. I didn't see any foam from the previous beer on the stash when you were drinking it. Are you a little upset that you didn't get the beer mustache
I was
with
a little
us?
strategic with that.
Oh, okay.
So this is our second.
This might be our third Foeder.
Is it?
I think. I don't know.
I know we had Prayer Group from Tired Hands.
Yeah, we'll call it our second because I can't remember
that's a great beer. That's very different than this, but a great beer.
That was my favorite beer of 2020.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was your favorite beer of 2020.
That one still sticks with me. All right, so let's get into this thing. Boys, Slancha.
Cheers, guys.
Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's raise a glass to Aadam's scarf. I still haven't forgotten about it.
Long may it live. He wears it in the summer too.
Second game.
He wears it all the time.
That's like his Trace uniform. You got to get some of those, like you got to get the soccer scarves.
Like the soccer scarves
for Trace. Yeah.
we actually sponsored a soccer team.
Yeah, we might as well get one.
You need like Trace Football Club.
That would make sense.
I don't know, Chris. Is this a request or I don't know? Citra Matuka Sabro. Matueka? Whatever it is. And Jen, yes, the Foeder beers.
What I like about the Foeder is how much of the barrel comes off on it, and for this, like it gives me the vibes of like sipping a little bit of like whiskey. You get some of the barrel when you have like a really good whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I get when I have a Foeder. And that's kind of getting the vibes on this right now. Is it like kind of sat on my palate for the first 2 sips.
Yeah, the oak's coming through really nice. I'm definitely getting a little bit of that citrus in there, which is really refreshing with the lager. Can you tell us a little bit about the process with the Foeder?
Sure. Yeah. So we have put 5 or 6 different beers through it. We have a Foeder Crafters, white oak, American oak Foeder. It's got a just a light toast on the inside, and they tell you, and a lot of people, other brewers have said that the character from it is not what people initially expect. I think enough people have now started to have some clean beers out of these that they understand what it's doing. This beer is probably the palest, lightest beer that we've put through it. So at least for the longest. So and we also had it on draft. Still do have it on draft with the base beer as well available, so people can try them both.
That's awesome. Yeah, having
it pretty clear what the Foeder is doing. But yeah, basically, I mean, we ferment the beer. Usually, what we'll do, we have a 10-barrel Foeder, and all our tanks are 20-barrel tanks, 10-barrel system. So most of the time, what I do is I'll double batch a lager. I'll get it through all fermentation till it's good and clean. And then we've done a variety of different treatments of the beer, getting it into the Foeder. But for this one, it's sorry, my dog is making this crazy noise.
I thought a car was driving by.
I know, I thought the same thing.
That's my dog. Come here. My dog wants me to play with him. So the Kellerbier we try to present as like a Kellerbier is unfiltered, sort of essentially the idea of the Kellerbier is like drinking a Pilsner or a Helles before it has finished lagering, more or less. So it usually has like a slight hazy appearance to it. Not in the same way as we think of hazy now, but just it's not crystal clear. So anyway, we usually double batch. We split half into the Foeder, and then it hangs out in there for a couple months. We bring the whole batch out and then crash it, and then that's pretty much it. We'll throw it on draft. We found that 2 months has been the good the magic number so far. I've talked to some people that have gone longer. One time we actually put a Czech Pilsner in there, and I cut it at 1 month because I felt like it was, that was the only other thing that came close to this, but that was an earlier turn. Anyway, we're starting to kind of push it a little bit further. We actually have our Dortmunder Cole Hill in there right now.
Oh,
and I think that batch might go maybe 2.5 to 3 months in there. It's a little maltier, so I think it could stand up to it. But it's one of the most fun projects that I get to work on. Many people have not tried something like this yet, so it's fun, especially in our brewery, because it's literally the Foeder is right there. You're sitting at the bar, and I hear people all day ask the bartenders, well, what is this? And they're like, it's a lager, and it was in that thing. And then they just point at it, and they're like, oh, that's pretty cool.
The Foeder's just at the bar, just raising a glass. Like,
yeah, it's just right there. So it makes it really easy to do the educational piece for the serving staff. But yeah, I mean, I really love what the oak does to these beers.
So we got Jen, aka Hello Brutiful,
Yes.
popping in here. When will some of the spawn beers from the cool ship be ready?
Well,
Trap question.
the first, when they're ready, they'll be ready. The first spontaneous batch is a year old in about a week and change. And we just put the second spontaneous batch into the oak a couple of days ago. So, in a while, I mean, they're fermenting and they're doing their thing. It's just, it takes time. I don't know. We do have some of the other original batches that we open fermented in the cool ship are now getting to a point where soon we'll be able to blend them. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll be putting some beer on fruit in the spring, and then just patience is the first.
So I think we need to get Dave involved here.
Oh, geez.
Tell us how Trace got started.
So Zach and I put a bunch of money in Bitcoin back in 2007.
Holy shit!
And it was like a couple $1,000.
Quadrillionaires by now, huh?
Yeah, and just kind of sat around back in our Cambridge days, watching it go through the roof, and decided to pull out the market. And like, what better thing to start than a brewery? So that's the short story long of Trace.
So you're a crypto brewery. That's the first one for the podcast.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. It was a bank loan.
It was just a normal bank loan. If we had put our money in crypto, we probably wouldn't be sitting here. Let's be honest.
You know, the usual Bitcoin to early adoption Bitcoin to brewery story.
That's that classic.
Yeah.
You've heard it once, you've heard it 1,000.
It's that.
We'd be on those rocket ships with Elon. We'd be on those rocket ships if we had done that. But no, I mean, I've known Zach for going on almost 10 years now. And, like I mentioned, we both worked at Harpoon together. We bartended together. We brewed together, home brewed together. Way back when the two of us and our business partner, Joel, who we also bartended and brewed with, would chat about what's the vision of the kind of brewery that we would want to own and operate. It was something like Trace, which is, centrally located in a city, highly dense, very diverse staff and clientele, diverse beers that we can offer. I mean, everything from barrels and cool ships and Foeder beer, which Aadam can really touch on a lot more than I can, but really being community centric and being a place for everyone. And so I got Zach and I lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts for some time. I moved here about not too much longer before you got here, Zach, like us a little bit before, and got him to move here, like you mentioned, brew for Dancing Gnome, and we started shopping around looking for places that could be a home for Trace. Found that in early late 2018. Started demo in late 2019, and we had plans to open in March 2020, and then world ended.
Classic story.
Classic.
This is a tale we get a lot on the podcast. Is that we tried to open in 2020 and
tried to open
or we opened in November of 2019.
Ooh, I mean, I honestly I have more sympathy for those folks. I mean, we ended up opening in December 2020. I honestly feel like it's crazy to say that we dodged a bullet, but to open right before COVID, I mean, that was just
was
crazy.
It Dr. Brewlittle in Jersey opened right before the pandemic and had no plans of doing canning or anything.
Yeah, they went tap room
only, growler fills.
Yeah, they did the tap room business plan right as it happened.
And they just started canning, like not too long ago.
Yeah, not too long
Wow.
ago. Yeah, I mean they were able to kind of
Survive
on the growler kind of combination with that.
Good for them.
Yeah, we talked to Attic.
Mhm.
They set up what, January of 2020 or like December of 2019, I think.
Mhm.
Oh my
Same
God.
thing with one of the hottest breweries in Pennsylvania right now, Warwick Farm.
Yeah,
They started right at the beginning of the pandemic.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they went right for the can
Yeah.
can approach,
Mhm.
which I mean,
I don't
definitely
think they
smart.
didn't have a choice because they didn't have a tap room then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's similar to Trace's story. And I think this, the story of the pandemic for small businesses and, breweries is just the story of the pivot. I mean, it was constant pivot. And everyone's going to say, this was our business plan. This was our vision. And you kind of, it just became a story of survival. And, for us, again, we're a small brewery and tap room, 10 barrel system with 20 barrel fermenters and serving tanks. We're not really made for mass distribution by design. And so when we opened December 17th, it was the worst day for COVID cases in Allegheny County. And we all decided as a team that, we're not going to open to the public in a taproom setting. We're just going to be doing beer to go. And, we did that for 2.5 months, just beer to go, until cases started to come back down. Then even though we could open up at 25%, we opened at 10% just to do baby steps. Then eventually got to 25%, and it wasn't until June 2021, so really 6.5 months after we opened, that we fully opened up our taproom. And the vision, which was to pull back from distro, to pull back from can sales, and get folks to come into the brewery for all the great events and artists and DJs and everything else that we do there to make it a community space. So it was you got to get up to our front of house staff and our back of house staff constantly pivoting from full distro to a little bit of distro and a little bit on site, so about half and half to, now it's practically 99% on site, which was always our design.
Yeah, and that's awesome too, because the tap room kind of setting and ambiance for a brewery is, where people get to learn about the beers a little bit more, and it's like you said, it's a sense of community when people kind of get together.
It's where you make your repeat customers.
Yeah, exactly. You get your usuals, and it's funny to hear, like, because you hear from every brewer, like when they went to cans, it kept the lights on, but you could tell like they were just, hey, it's, everyone enjoys our, beers. We're getting them out the door and everything, but they miss being in the tap room and, talking to people about the beer and everything.
Yeah, sorry, you guys cut out there a little bit, but I'm just gonna nod my head. It sounds like it was about everyone enjoying beer and getting together, which is exactly what we're trying to do at Trace.
I don't want to say it was the pandemic was good for breweries, because it wasn't. I mean, a lot of breweries struggled, but I think it was good for the beer industry, if I can say that. Like, I feel like it forced breweries to kind of take a step forward with online ordering, mobile ordering, stepping up their social media presence, just getting out there and, like, curbside delivery. I love the fact that during that you were able to help keep the lights on by being able to order a beer, drive up, pick it up, drive away.
Yeah, even before we couldn't even like physically touch it, just backing up and putting our hatch up and being like, yeah, right in the back there, man, it's cooler. Thank you. And just like beep on my way out and everything. We've got a question here from YouTube.
Oh,
Wow.
and it's not a porn question.
It's not porn related at all.
One of the OGs.
Not being baited at all.
Oh, Sun Shadows. What a throwback. Yeah, Zach, we got that.
Yeah.
We got that same question from somebody in Pittsburgh too, the Mexican lager.
Wow. One of the
I
OGs.
think so. I think we'll make it this summer. It was one of the first beers we made, and at that time, I can't even explain really, like the blur that was just the finish line, and then of the construction, and then opening, and then trying to navigate everything that we were just talking about. But yeah, the Sun Shadows was one of those beers early on that resonated with a lot of people. And
You say it was a Mexican lager?
yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of a hybrid of a lot of things. but it was made with Mexican lager yeast, and it had that kind of character to it. Yeah, I mean, so I've thought about it. There's a bunch of beers that we've only made once, and we've been kind of working our way back through them, which is nice. I mean, I like having that, some of these in my back pocket, in a sense of there's a lot of, we're actually looking at making a bunch of hoppy stuff that we haven't made in many months coming up here. So to answer the question, yeah, that beer will definitely come back.
Anyone else hearing that? Is that Zach's dog?
It's Zach's dog.
Is that my dog?
It's Zach's dog. It's like Adam's stomach.
I know. I was like,
He's
someone's
rumbling down
stomach
here.
growling?
I'm trying to get him to just sit here on the couch. He wants to play.
You know how hard it is to
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it again.
I love when
Sun shadows. Yeah, that's what the.
I love when Zach starts like describing a beer being so profound. Then you look at this mustache on like Tom's face. He looks so unamused by everything you guys are saying while you're sitting there talking.
I've been trying so hard to like.
He looks incredibly angry every time. He's such a
Why
scared
does
I can't
the
smile,
audio
it
is just
ruins it.
missing out. I'm just staring at it from like, is he mad?
It's so hard to laugh without smiling. I'm like,
Where's the problem?
You're laughing like an oil baron.
oh man,
That's a good one.
perfect.
Sorry about the dog. I'm Ron Burgundy.
Read what's ever on the prompter.
It's the pleats. Pattern pleats.
So, I mean, kind of going with the theme of the episode here. The question come in: is this the year of the lager?
You know what? We actually had this in our notes.
Sure seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, so for us, it was interesting. I mean, I kind of going into the brewery, I kind of had the green light given to me, just make anything and we'll kind of see what people respond to. And then I think partly because of the Foeder lager program, we drew a lot of interest to lagers early. I think there's a lot of breweries the last couple of years that have really put in a lot of legwork to try to promote the idea that small craft breweries do not have to be IPA centric.
I'm going to unmute myself. Yeah, looks like.
You good on
what?
Yeah, I'm good on mine. Can you guys hold on? I'm going to change my audio settings here. We've got.
What happened to Adam?
I don't know.
Adam looks like he just got like.
Let me just get this set up here.
Sniped in some
Hey!
He just like left.
It's funny. I think we lost Aadam and Tom at the same time.
At the same time. Oh, he froze. He froze.
Adam looks like he got like taken out.
Oh man, Tom, this is the perfect.
Tom's face in the frozen frame is pretty great.
That's perfect.
There he. All right. We're back.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Oh, now we've lost Dave. He's frozen.
Oh man, we lost everybody.
How is it not?
No, I'm not frozen. I got you guys.
Oh,
Oh, I got you guys good.
Dude, Dave, that was perfect. Tom's been, speaking of Bitcoin, he's been mining Bitcoin with the graphics card, and it's destroyed his computer.
Oh, did we lose Tom?
Yeah, he's coming back here soon, and then as soon as he's in, I'm gonna drop my audio here.
Okay.
I just had to use the restroom. Sorry.
Okay. This is a good time. We're all frozen.
Yeah. Oh, here
All
we
right.
We're back.
All right.
Oh, he's coming back.
And you're
Yeah, All
all right. There we go. Perfect.
And we're back.
Yeah.
right, now we're back.
All right, we're all back. Yeah, my graphics card has been shit in the bed, and perfect time. Thank you, graphics card, for doing that.
I love the I love the Dale Jr. #1 fan right here. And
I ain't no junior fan. Number 3, the Eliminator.
I was gonna say, may I say, Tom, your computer crashed like Dale Sr. Just a
Oh no! You may not,
Daniel.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like people have had time to cope
It's been
with
like
that.
2 decades. It's been like 20 years. All right. Well,
might I add that David's frozen face was probably the best part of that. I was like, we lost David too. He's like, just kidding, guys. I'm here.
All right. So we were talking about Year of the Lager.
Yeah.
We talked about that, and your computer just crashed. It's like Hazy IPAs did not want Year of the Lager.
Yeah, right.
The big Hazy got into the system.
InBev's just like, what the hell, guys? We finally have Hazies, and now you guys are going back to lagers.
We spent all that money on goddamn Goose Island.
Damn it, InBev.
Next thing you're going to tell me you really like Sophie.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, the Year of the Lager, I think, I mean, I've been hoping for this for going on 2 years now. Just bring back all the lagers.
Yeah.
Give me all the Pilsners, all the lagers. It's
been working for us so far to have, there have been times where we had 8 beers on draft and 4 lagers. There was a week where we had 5 lagers and 2 of them were oak age lagers. And I mean, I think if you talk to brewers a lot, especially the last couple of years, I mean, everybody that, is in the beer world goes through, cycles where they get into something and then maybe they burn out on it and they inevitably go back to lighter options. And it kind of happens at an accelerated pace when you're in production because you're working on the beer, you're tasting it every day. So, I still like drinking hazy IPAs, but I think a lot of people put in a lot of legwork at some of these breweries trying to put out lagers when, they knew, maybe an IPA would do better in that spot, but they said, something's got to give eventually and we're going to be ahead of the curve. And, we're new and we're kind of benefiting from that. So, I guess I like this messaging of the Year of the Lager because I hope that more breweries get to make them more often. And we've certainly been lucky to be able to make a lot of them, but it didn't come out of nowhere. It's been a process to get to the point where now beer media is kind of catching on and pushing it a little bit. And we'll see where it goes. I mean, I don't know what the general numbers is or if that data is even out there about, I'm sure hazy IPA is still ruling the day, but it's nice to see lager and to a certain extent saison and some of these other styles, people making alt beers and ESB and all this type of stuff out there again. Because, certainly the craft beer world that I fell in love with was very diverse in styles, and it's gotten a little bit one-dimensional, but I think we're kind of finding our way out of it. And it's exciting because there's so many more breweries now. The potential is kind of unlimited. There's so many more brewers and so much more creativity. And it'd be nice to see some of that come back around to, the classic styles that are already there and waiting.
So, like I said, speaking of the lager, we're gonna move along here to the Schwarzbier.
Oh,
I mean, this is the Year of the Lager episode. I mean, we usually start with lagers and then go into the hazy IPAs just because of like the effect on the palate and everything like that. But just being a lager heavy episode, we got that hazy out of the way so we can enjoy some crispy noise.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the Schwarzbier from Trace Brewing. It's a 4.6 alcohol by volume, a traditional German lager style. Schwarzbier is black with a tan head, tasting notes of cocoa and freshly baked bread. Despite its jet black color, this beer is very clean and neutral.
Very nice.
Do you guys ever read the reviews?
Oh, do we?
Do we ever? We just brewed a collaboration, and yeah, I'm well versed with the reviews of Untapped.
Great Untapped.
Oh yeah. So we try and post our beers on Untapped. We do not rate the beers on Untapped, just because we feel that one. I think the rating system. We think the rating system should go. It really should be just kind of checking in the beers with Untapped. I feel like the majority of people who are on Untapped aren't suited for rating
And
a beer.
how do we feel about the community on Untapped?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's get a crack here and get this poured. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, so we had our first Schwarzbier from, was it Levante?
Levante.
Yeah, so we had their Schwarzbier. So this is a style that's no stranger to our podcast, and we definitely enjoy it.
And we have PTSD from the pronunciation because every time we said Schwarzbier, Jim Aadam was like Schwarzbier.
He's like,
Schwarzbier.
actually, guys, it's Schwarzbier.
Actually, Schwarzbier. This is a really good Schwarzbier.
Actually, can you hand me the can for a second?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to mention this for all of the beers that we've been cracking here. You guys have exceptional artwork. Like, I wish I'd not be blurry, but this is incredible. You guys have a really incredible, like, unique style that's uniform to almost all the beers. They have like the same kind of general layout, just like a different pattern.
we're definitely suckers for can art, and we're suckers for like continuity and can art.
I like a uniform brand, and you guys kind of bring that to like all of the beers you have here.
Did you
spill beer on your computer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
Completely.
Oh, no.
I've whiffed.
He's crashing it. Number 3's crashing again.
Oh, and I'm in turn 4.
Oh man, I am pissing off somebody who looks like Tom right now listening to the podcast.
All right, let's give. Let's give this thing a taste here.
Cheers, guys.
Sancha.
Cheers.
Cheers. Our designer Mike Tavilla, he took a lot of inspiration from. We have our brewery's lots a lot. We have a long alley next to us in Bloomfield, and we have Pittsburgh's only open art wall for anyone to come by of any kind of skill set. A lot of spray paint artists, a lot of folks just painting with different types of chalk or spray paint pens. And it's been open since October 2020, and the wall is constantly changing. It's cool to watch, art like spray paint art, which typically you don't get to see the process. It just happens in the middle of the night, and then you see the final product. These folks come out and use our wall. And so a lot of our art and design seems kind of abstract and spray paint-esque. And so he took a lot of inspiration from that.
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like it might like bring some like spray paint turf wars in there. Like they come in like a breakdancing battle, but it's like spray paint graffiti. like the movie Breakin', but like spray paint.
I know. Well, that was definitely part of our concern. But there's an incredible street code amongst graffiti artists and street artists, and one of the only rules of the wall is that not to get too attached to your work, because everyone owns the wall, and so it could be up for years, as some of them have been. It could be up for a day, and it's just about respecting each other and respecting the space. But it's cool to see that community come out and they all support each other, and there isn't so much of that war.
Just means you have to one up yourself after your stuff gets covered. It's like, all right, now how can I make it better than what I did before? No, that's awesome. And this is the second brewery we've had on that has had a graffiti wall too. One of our early 2020 ones.
I don't know if Dave is committing to this bit or if he's actually frozen.
He was frozen.
He was frozen.
I think I was frozen for a little.
Yeah, I thought you were committing to the bit.
Oh, now he is.
Now he
Now
is.
he's
Now he
definitely.
is.
He's
Oh,
moving.
I got you again.
Oh, dude.
Second time, I got you again.
Man, this Schwarzbier is. I want to live in this thing.
It definitely goes with the overall impression of a Schwarzbier. Like, although, like, you know, having the darker, maltier backbone, it does have a clean finish on it.
Oh yeah.
With this, and it's nice because we've come accustomed to being pretty like Eastern Pennsylvania influenced, just because it's easier for us to do our podcast with that. You know, kind of stretching out to the West Coast, we're having all these other, or not West Coast, but you know, Western part of Pennsylvania. You know, we're getting accustomed to some other beers from different areas.
And speaking of that, we have a question coming in. Is Trace found on the eastern side of Pennsylvania, or are they going to have to take a road trip?
Road trip.
Road trip.
Yeah, right now, yeah, you're road tripping.
Just sweet talk Aadam.
Coming out, or take your private jet out.
Falling apart.
Just
I'm falling apart here.
just tell Aadam how much you like his scarf. Maybe he'll send you some beer.
Schwarzbier.
Yeah,
took
I
me
mean,
down. Took
I
down
did-
the stash.
I did ship. Yeah, sorry about the stash, Tom. I did ship them beers. So Zach and Dave, like I put some beer in the mail for Dan and Tom, and you know,
Governor Wolf.
Governor
Earmuffs.
Wolf,
Earmuffs.
you didn't hear
Earmuffs.
that. You didn't hear that, Governor Wolf.
sorry about that. But I did include the shorts, but I didn't bring it with me tonight to be live with. But we have a group text for all the front of house bartenders at Trace, and you know, I think it was last night or 2 nights ago the Schwarzbier kicked, and I got that text, and I was like, man, like I really miss having it on draft, because I would drink it while I was making all my tweets, and it's sad to see it go.
It was a staff favorite for sure.
Yeah, I hope it comes back.
Understandable. I mean, this is a great beer that kind of it bridges the gap between a lot of different styles, like people who enjoy like the maltier, maybe like porter heavy or like stout heavy beers, but also like lagers too. It kind of dances on the edge between all of those styles, and it's so so approachable.
You're able to get that really nice roasted malt flavor without it being super heavy or weighing you down. Get that really nice lightness that comes with a lager, but you get all that flavor, which is I've been really in love with the roasted malt lately, whether it be a Schwarzbier, a black lager, and a black IPA.
I feel like I'm talking to a completely different person now that you took the
I
mustache
know
off.
it doesn't.
I look over at you. I'm like, who are you anymore?
I don't know. I don't know who I am anymore.
Well,
I've lost all sense of
So one thing we talked about with
myself.
Schwarzbiers before with the with Levante, because I mean, although this is heavy, has a heavy malt characteristic, the clean finish really speaks volumes about the water profile that you guys use, or any brewery uses. Like you get a nice clean finish on this, like a Schwarzbier like this. It also lends itself to like a lot of breweries who do these German styles talk about like water is very important because they have to have that clean finish to, display the malt, display the profile and everything.
Yeah, all that Heinz runoff is really doing wonders for your beer.
Yeah. Catch a bottle in the mash. That's the secret.
But the base of every good Pittsburgh beer is that ketchup liquid that comes out before the ketchup.
Yeah, French fries in the Vorloff.
It's the bucket they keep under Roethlisberger after the first half.
Not anymore.
So are you guys are you going to be more kind of lager focused moving forward, or are you going to keep like a kind of a mix of things?
Yeah, I think having the variety, having the variety has worked for us, and I feel extremely fortunate that the community that's come out to the brewery has been coming out for everything. I mean, we still sell through some stuff faster than other things, but luckily we have gotten a lot of very vocal supporters of lager and saison and all the other stuff that we've done. So, we're going to keep making it. I mean, the idea from the beginning was variety. it was a brewery for anybody that could just wander in, beer drinker, non-beer drinker. Hopefully we got something for you, and we're just gonna stick with that. So lager is a huge part of that, and it's become a big kind of identity for us from a beer perspective, in the sense that I've been out at some local events and festivals and had someone come up and ask what we brought, and then come to find out that like, oh, we love all of your lagers. And it's like, oh, well, we have a fruited sour and IPA, and they're like, well, we'll be there next week, and then like, they don't even want to try it. I'm like, that's fine. I mean, we want to have people like that. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep doing it and keep pushing it forward. I mean, this beer is particularly funny one for me. As much as I don't brew for Untapped, this beer I think is our highest rated lager on there, which originally
0.03 for this one.
Originally I was going to put it into the Foeder. And I think now we definitely will do that. But at the time that I brewed it, I was like, let's see how it goes. I don't know what's going to happen here. Black lager, this is going to be a hard sell. And then sure enough, we make it, and it's just, people were just raving about it. We ripped through it. I didn't see that coming. But then also it ended up being part of a greater trend in Pittsburgh, where I think 8 or 9 breweries in Pittsburgh made one this winter.
Yeah,
it was everywhere.
At least 7. At least 7
Yeah,
are made.
It was a lot. I was knocking mine out, and I threw a post up online, and I got a message from another brewer that said, we just knocked one out yesterday. And then all of a sudden it was like, there was 2, 3, 4 weeks there where every week 2 breweries were putting one on. And it was not like that. I mean, I had not seen that in over the 6 years I've been in Pittsburgh. So I guess, hashtag year of the lager or whatever.
I will say the Dirtmunder is making a run at the Schwarzbier for the highest rated right now. You've got the Schwarzbier at a 4.03. Coal Hill is coming in at 3.91. I mean, it's on.
That's another one that perplexes me too. I mean, I love that beer. I didn't make it for the hype. You know what I mean? That's not why you go out and brew a Dortmunder.
It's that heavy German influence in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, to go on that point, I mean, I think we talked a lot before Trace opened that we wanted to brew a beer for everyone. Like the goal was to have beer for everyone on the menu at all times, at least try to. And I think whether it's the Untapped crowd, whether it's the super beer nerds or geeks, whether it's just someone coming off the street, there typically is something for everyone. I mean, just the other day, the building that we're in is like an old foundry, aluminum, brass, bronze. And I've been waiting since the day that we opened to meet someone who had like been in the building way back when, because it closed like in the 50s, early 60s. And this older person kind of walked in and came in and, wanted something that was like Iron City or Budweiser. And we had a Kellerbier on for them, and they sat and told us how they had come in our building, and hadn't been inside in 60 years. And I think, in a lot of situations, that person gets up and goes because there isn't something that speaks to them and to their taste. And that's always going to be a moment that sticks out of my mind. And, again, it just happened recently, just this last week, to allow them to sit there, talk to our bartenders, tell the story of when this was a foundry. And if it was all just one style, or if it was all just too inaccessible to the average beer drinker, they probably would have just been like, oh, I'll go down the street. And so I think that really speaks to what Zach is doing, is, not trying to just brew for the hype, is trying to figure out what does the community want. So
we've talked about that a lot on the podcast, of like, you have to have that approachable beer, because you're going to get people that bring their friends, or a guy that brings his wife in, and they're not a craft beer fan, and because
What's
when you
the
think
closest to Bud Light?
right, or let me get, I like icy light. What's that? What do you got? Give me an icy light. But you get people that also, when they think craft beer, they think IPAs. They think, I don't like any of that hoppy stuff, and it's like, well, no. Here's a Pilsner. It's what you have probably in the fridge in your garage right now, but brewed on a smaller scale.
Right.
So you have to have that, be able to have an approachable beer for those kind of people.
Yeah, I was really surprised when Tom texted me the list of the beers when he got them delivered. He was like, Foeder.
I was so fucking hyped.
Yeah, Gertrude. Like, I thought he was listing officers from Hogan's Heroes at first, and then I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna say Foeder, Dortmunder. Oh, awesome! And then Schwarzbier ended with that. I was like, oh, this is sweet. Didn't even mention the IPA. He
no, I missed the IPA. I missed the IPA before Aadam was like, yeah, I sent you an IPA too, and I was like, oh yeah, there it is. Look at that.
Tom got so excited about German beers, he just
I know
he laid them all in his bed and did like a snow angel in them.
I had my lager goggles on.
Did a little lager angel in the bed.
Yeah, no, that was purposeful. Yeah, when I was thinking when Dan and Tom reached out to the brewery about tonight, I was like, man, I know what Zach's got in the tanks. I know what we're doing well with. Schwarzbier was flying, in draft. That was kind of why I put that together as like a package. But it's funny because there's a good friend of the brewery. Her name is Maggie. She's a food and beverage writer for a magazine called Table, and she's done a few stories about the brewery. And literally, like maybe 2 months ago, she emailed me using those exact words, like, is this the year of the lager? Can we talk about lager? Can we talk about 2022 with Trace and lagering? And I was like, yeah, like talk to Zach. But I think that it's definitely something that's approachable, and it pairs well with our food trucks, and it just hits. It hits with the staff, but I more importantly, it hits with our community. But I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the Schwartz, the Dortmunder, the Foeder Keller. I mean, yeah, everything. It's definitely. I didn't even pivot. I've just been drinking lager the whole time tonight. You can tell.
Yeah, I told Dan that you only sent us one of each, so
it's well, I had to fill the box because I got the box because I think Zach got a delivery. Okay, I'll stop.
You sent 4 beers total.
Tom.
Keeping these. I'm hogging these from. I'm gonna Scrooge. I'm Scrooge McDuckin.
I'll mute myself.
He's just jumping into a pool of lager cans.
I'm the Smaug of lager.
The lager miser.
Yeah, don't touch my lager. All right, let's get our stock questions out of the way here, and then we can wrap up and get these guys on the way.
Yeah, we could do we'll do the stock questions.
Yeah.
I know Zach, it's past 9 o'clock. Are you still cool to hang for a little bit, or it's gonna?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here. It's.
I looked at the time and I was like, it's 9:15. Is he gonna turn into a pumpkin right now?
The dog's still up, making noise. He's awake.
There's no one like angrily waving at me in the background. I think you're good.
Just your dog going.
No, the dog is so.
Dog's big.
He finally calmed down. I don't know. He's not making any more angry car noises.
All right, Daniel, you wanna give him your question?
Yeah, so you guys mentioned working for a bunch of different breweries leading up to this. I always like to ask brewers, owners, kind of like the brewer's favorite brewers, like somebody you guys either looked up to, or it could be someone current right now that you guys are is catching fire, or you guys really look up to right now. So who's kind of your favorite brewer right now?
I can go first because I don't do production.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot that I look up to, but I grew up in Ohio and I moved to Pittsburgh about 10 years ago. So I grew up with this guy named Rafael, and Rafael is from Puerto Rico, and he, found his way to Ohio, and he's now the head brewer at Pint House in Austin, Texas. And he brewed a open fermented, like a saison, just this like wild beer that he did that ended up winning gold at GABF a couple of years ago. And
wow.
it's a guy that I grew up with, and he was so proud of it. And he's the only close friend of mine from my hometown that's working in craft beer right now. I mean, and I'm not in production; I'm just in marketing. But definitely Raphael, like he opened a couple of breweries, one in Chicago, one in Worcester, Ohio, called JAFB, which stands for Just a Fucking Brewery. It was such a simple concept, and they've had some amazing beers come out as well. And when he moved to Texas and took the job at Pint House, and they made him head brewer, he's had the kind of the creative freedom to experiment and do some new stuff. And they've kind of almost made him. He's the head brewer, but he's definitely focused on the Wild program. That's where his focus has gone the last couple of years. But and that's not at all part of my day-to-day at Trace with marketing. But from a beer and like an emotional tie perspective, I try to keep up with Raphael and what he's up to in Austin, because it's definitely kind of impacted and guided some of my career as well.
That's really cool. I like the open fermentation stuff. It's like
Allagash.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's some Rob Todd shit.
Some Rob Todd.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned them, Dan. I mean, I was gonna say Allagash. Since Zach and I cut our teeth up in New England, it's like hard not to rep Allagash as the Bob Dylan of brewery, since it's kind of like all brewers love Allagash. It's something that like I think we're all kind of inspired by what they've done. Our cool ship room, definitely pay some respect to them with three windows in the centered cool ship, just like what they have. So that's something that like when I'm back in New England or I see them on the shelves, I always try to drink their stuff. I mean, even Allagash White is a great beer. It's probably what they're best known for, but just their everything that they do is kind of turns to gold. So that's something. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite. Both famous and like unsung heroes. And then always excited here in Pittsburgh. I think there's two breweries, both Old Thunder and Necromancer, are just doing awesome things. They both opened up around the same time as Trace. Like Zach mentioned earlier, our second vocational brewer, Nina, is the assistant brewer there with Laura, their head brewer. So two women brew team and just really killing it right now. So definitely check them out.
That's awesome. And exactly what I thought about when you said, when I heard about your cool ship program, is like, oh, you guys are from New England. It's like, Allagash. Yeah. Of course you guys have a cool ship program.
I thought of a couple different places. Definitely Necromancer locally doing interesting stuff, making a lot of classic and forgotten styles, trying to do something different, which I always appreciate. There's a brewery in Ohio called Noble Creature that does a lot of that type of thing. Really interesting lager and wild beer stuff in Youngstown, Ohio. Really nice people. They came by the brewery. There's a saison brewery in Chicago called Is Was that's focusing all on just classic saisons and some Brett saisons. They've done a lot of little bit of oak stuff, but really doing it correctly, and always excited to see people do something that because they love it, it's and then really also love what Primitive Brewing has done in Colorado with their spontaneous program. Also got a chance to meet them when they came into Pittsburgh one time. Really nice people, and again, doing something that's hard to do well and not for everyone, and they've got all my respect. And of course they, one of my favorite things and experiences is drinking like straight uncarbonated lambic in Europe. And I think it kind of bridges the gap between beer and wine in a lot of ways. And they're out there selling, still spontaneous beer in a bag in a box, and they'll probably be able to ship it to your door in most states. And I really love that. I love the adventurousness of it and the uniqueness of it in the States. So a lot of cool stuff.
I'll have to check that out. Primitive, if they ship to PA, then
They do.
a box of lambic.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's good.
Well, it's not lambic, but it's
take back college days where you got the box of wine, just got a box of lambic. You're just taking the bladder out and slapping it.
Oh, I immediately went to Dirty Ho. I was thinking,
they're doing great.
Frambois.
Really nice people.
Yeah. So I always like to ask what your desert island beer would be. So like, if you had to drink one style of beer for the rest of your life, could be style, could be a specific beer. If you had to drink one for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's a tough
trap question.
Take weather out of the equation. It's not a desert. Desert island, it could be just anything.
Well, you said desert island, so like my mind went to, I'm from Miami originally. My first beer was Corona, drinking with my dad when I was younger, not drinking age. So I'm like, it's hard not to think of the beach and think of Corona and that skunked beer and just always loving it growing up. But if we're not a desert island,
nice clear glass bottle.
Yeah. just getting all of that sun. Just getting a nice tan on that beer.
Yeah. So my parents
oxidation.
Yeah, my parents were not big drinkers. So they definitely just like fell into that Florida vibe. They're like, that's what they had in the fridge. So those are my first beers. Yeah. But I'll also think about it. I'll pass the mic if we're not actually on a desert island, because that is important.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a desert island in Alaska.
True.
Global warming. All right.
The first thing, and it's weird, I don't know why, but the first thing that popped in my head was De La Seine Terrace Bulba. I love that beer.
Such a Brewer answer.
I know.
Such a Brewer answer.
So simple and so perfectly done. And it just always, if I could have it all the time, I would drink it all the time. They got a case of it there's actually a beer distributor like right next to the brewery, and sometimes I'll go in there and they had it, and it is what it is. It's an imported beer. It's not cheap, but I was going in there basically buying the case out a bottle at a time, and I could tell like none of the staff knew what it was. No one else was buying it. They didn't have a price tag on it. I'm like, how much is this? And they all kind of like huddled up, and they're like,
it became like an Arabian bazaar.
For $4.
How much is this worth to you?
Yeah, pretty much. I love that beer, and so that was the first thing that popped in my head. But I also really love the Boone Foeder straight lambic series. In the time that I've gotten to spend abroad in Europe, you can usually find it on draft somewhere, and it's just, if you love spontaneous beer, there's really nothing like having it flat and a little warm. It's the closest thing like that. Those beers and like Cantillon makes one. But just it's the closest thing you can get to actually just drinking it straight out of the barrel. Which, man, maybe it's just because like good, nice memories for me. But I love that stuff, and
Cantillon
I guess
was actually, you mentioned Cantillon was the last time we had a brewer on the podcast. That was his desert island.
Yeah. But really, that's more of like a style thing, like just the straight lambic. Or Terrace Bulba. I mean, I love Belgian beer so much, but those two things, I guess, would be it for me.
What about Aadam there?
Oh man.
Oh
So
yeah.
I guess for the desert island question. I mean, I live here in Pittsburgh. I've lived here 10 years. I always just in my apartment always keep cans of Iron City Lager. I know that we're talking to you guys out in Eastern PA, but it is such a well done lager. I always reach for it if I'm eating dinner, having friends over, doing anything, right? Like even just working on my tweets, like anything I'm working on, I can always have an Iron City. The funny thing is when I think about Iron City, like I haven't even told Zach and Dave this, but like about 5 years ago, Iron City, because they're based here, they do market research and they do these blind taste tests where they'll bring in common beer drinkers to blind taste test these cups that are opaque, and one cup is Coors Light, one cup is Miller Lite, one cup is Bud Light, and then one cup is Iron City. And you have to either rank them or pick which is which. Oh, there's the dog. What's up? What's up, Winston? And there was a room of like maybe 17 or 18 people, and I was able to properly identify Miller Lite, Coors Light, Bud Light, and Iron City in a blind taste test because I knew, like, basically I was like, here's what I don't like and here's what I do like, and then the two in between, it's a coin toss. And Iron City has always been my favorite, like just local macro lager. And I've actually even gone to parties where I've been invited by other brewers, and I'm thinking, oh man, I got to show up with something cool. Like I don't know what to do. And then I just show up with a 12 rack of Iron City, and everyone's like, oh, dude, can I get one of those? Like, I'm not trying to drink all this crazy shit. And it's cool that, like, it's local-ish, and they have a lot of plans to bring manufacturing and a taproom vibe back to Pittsburgh. But, yeah, man, it's weird to say that as I work for Trace in the craft industry, but, like, I love Iron City. I need to go buy some tonight because I'm down to my final cans. But,
So I'll say I lived out in Pittsburgh for about 5 years, and so I know that a Permane Brothers sandwich with an icy light, it just hits different. It's just a cold, crisp icy light out of the metal can. Out of the metal bottle, it hits different.
I'll take the icy light. You can keep that Permane Brothers sandwich.
Yeah, I'm with Dan. Yeah. It's that it is quintessentially Pittsburgh, and I think a lot of folks who visit the city, who Google stuff and read stuff on Yelp or whatever, are like, oh shit, I gotta get Permane's, I gotta get Iron City. I mean, you can, but you could probably pair Iron City with anything else, better.
I'll pair it with a shot before I have Permane's.
We call that a citywide.
Citywide.
Yeah, citywide.
Yeah.
Shot in a beer, $6.
Yeah. I lived in Rittenhouse Square for about a year, and when I was in Philly, I remember drinking citywide over on 13th and Broad at Bob and Barb's. And yeah, that I miss those days for sure. I got nothing but love for Philly, but I don't think you can get a citywide here. I think you would just order an Iron City, or you would order, what was it, an Imp and Iron? Is that right, Zach?
Do they call it the Yinzer wide?
I think it was like, what? It was an Imperial shot of whiskey and an Iron, Imp and Iron. Do you guys remember that pairing? Was that a thing?
I don't know.
Oh, shoot, I'm totally off. It's cool.
I should know. But...
I don't know what's going on out there.
Let's get this thing wrapped up here. Get these guys out of here.
Yeah, definitely. Guys.
Zach's going to turn into a pumpkin.
I'm still alive.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on the
we really
podcast.
appreciate it.
First, Pittsburgh Brewery, you guys, knocked it out of the park with the beers. We were really excited about them, initially, and did not disappoint. So,
no,
great representation of what the West Coast of Pennsylvania has to offer, guys. Cheers.
Yo.
Cheers. Thanks for having us. To all your listeners on the East Coast, come out, West Side. Come represent us, out in Pittsburgh, and we will definitely welcome you with open arms and some cold beer. So definitely come check us out when you're out here.
Hold on, we got one.
Yeah, the Imp and Iron is a thing.
Imp and Iron is a thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I wasn't making that up. Yeah,
I know.
This person who I was assured was going to send us some kind of porn link.
Yeah,
I saw the name and I was like, "Is this
Imp and Iron?" Yeah. Bring the stash to Pittsburgh.
He's got to find a better adhesive for it.
Yeah. I gotta try a little harder.
I, for one, cannot grow one. So You'll get baby face over here.
Mine's shite. All right. So let's get out of here, guys. Follow, rate, review.
Thank you for the support through COVID.
Follow, rate, review. All major platforms. Give us a rating. Dan, what's our rating?
5-star party, baby.
5-star party. Donate to the podcast. We brought it up at the beginning. Support through donation. Anchor.fm/bestfriendspod. To go on there, donate. We'll figure out something to do for you guys if you donate.
We're thinking of coming up with some ideas. Like, hey guys, if you really like the podcast, throw us a couple bucks. Hey, we might. Governor Wolf, cover your ears. We might send you beer. We might. Who knows?
Yeah. Follow us on all major social media platforms. Dan, what's our handle?
Our handle is Best Friends Pod. That's Best Friends. I'll spell it out for you. POD. Hell yeah.
I think they can email us too.
Yeah, you can actually. It's bestfriendspod@gmail.com. Again, guys, I'm going to spell it for you. Bestfriendspod @gmail.com.
And you can, if you're, watching us live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch is also a great option as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of Twitch viewers here. We got Hello Beautiful on Twitch now.
Yeah. So you can check out our Twitch. It's Best Friends Podcast. It's twitch.tv/bestfriendspod. Cast. I think that about wraps it up, huh, Dan?
About wraps it up. Guys, do you guys have any events coming up at Trace? Anything you guys want to plug?
Go ahead, Dave.
We're doing a Skate Fest on Saturday, April 23rd in that alley with all the spray paint. Our brewery used to be an underground punk music venue before it was empty for several years before Trace took it over, but it had many lives. Like I said, it was a foundry, it was paint manufacturing, it was an actual car shop, it was a punk music venue. So we are partnering with the other two skateboarding and skate shops in Bloomfield.
Oh, awesome!
We got a bunch of punk bands coming, a bunch of great beer and food. So you should come. We're going to take over the alley there. We're shutting down the street, and it should be a really great music, great art, great spray paint artists, food, everything else. So come check us out.
Awesome.
I think it's Saturday, April 23rd. I got that date right. So
yeah, and check out their Instagram @Trace Brewing.
What's that? 3 days before the
thing,
the national holiday,
or no, the Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
is that the Pittsburgh?
Philly and East
Philly invades Pittsburgh. I guess
like
Beer
yeah.
Fest. I think is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about 420.
No.
That too.
Yeah, we might be out in Pittsburgh.
Oh, cool! Definitely
Nice.
come by. Let us know.
I might have to come
say
out
hello.
earlier if they're going to have this skate fest.
Yeah.
Dust the cobwebs off and get out there.
Dan's gonna roll an ankle or two.
Oh man, it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
my ACL.
I was going to say our 1 year anniversary is March 19th, which will be exciting. That'll be our first ever, bottle release. I'm speaking on behalf of Zach here, but yeah, we do have some fun stuff planned for March 19th, along with what Dave said about April 23rd with the skateboard festival. But also, POD filmed the Youth of the Nation music video in Pittsburgh. You guys might have already known that.
Tom, do you have the video handy?
I don't.
It's the scene where they're driving over that. Basically, it's like a highway on ramp over an underpass, and if you look up in that part of the video, that it's New Kensington. It's just like 8 miles up the river from Pittsburgh. It's pretty funny.
POD.
Payable on death.
Wait, how far down our Instagram is that? So we did a POD. We did a POD cameo.
Are we doing that?
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it right now.
Sorry to derail it.
I can bring it in real quick.
I was gonna say, how handy is it?
I think I'm the last surviving member of the folks who still listen to music from 2002 to the end of 2002.
False.
And,
False.
Sonny from the band POD, and I wanted to congratulate Dan and Tom from the Best Friends podcast in the world for celebrating their 1-year anniversary of their podcast. Congratulations.
Yeah, this was after season 1.
You guys are doing awesome things. I wish you guys nothing but the best, man. Thanks for being fun. Thanks for having a blast. Thanks for rocking with the best and playing POD, man. I appreciate you guys so much. And yes, hit me up somehow, some way. Let's find a way to get on your show. I would love to hang out and talk with you.
Open
guys
invitation.
on your podcast. So for me,
Damn.
much love, my friends. God bless you guys. Peace.
Yeah. So he was a liar. First of all, because I reached out to him several times and he did not want to come rock with the best.
Oh man.
Liar. Sinner. All right, let's get these guys out of here.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah,
again
thanks
coming
for-
on. It was a ton of fun.
Thanks for doing this. Dan, you know how I feel about you.
I love you. Always have.
All right, everybody. And remember, it's not goodbye forever. It's just...
We had one more POD drop.
Yeah, I know. Dave's trying so hard to be first.
Damn it.
I know. He was pushing for a second. I'm like, man. Don't front, man. We got it.
All right, everybody.
Learned.
Trace Brewing, thank you guys very much for coming on.
Thank you.
And guys, always remember, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. That was the Clinton family. It's in episode 104.
You should have said that with the mustache on.
Should have. Best Friends Podcast, episode 104.
We out.
See you. All right.
All right. Audio.
All right. Stream. Goodbye.
Bye, stream.